Number 49. I'm going to talk about Chicago for a little bit. My purpose of this video is to talk about Obama and the groundbreaking of his library and the amount of money that they're spending. I don't know the total amount, but in Chicago to build this lavish, complex library. But before that, I have to talk about other things in Chicago. So here I go. Namely, in the past weekend, there were over 50 reported shootings in Chicago. At least 10 people were killed. A police officer and a paramedic were among 58 others wounded. 58, not 50, in weekend shootings in Chicago. A 30-year-old police officer on patrol heard shots ring out. She drove towards the gunfire, saw someone laying in the street. She got out to assist, and she was fired upon and she was hit. She remains in the hospital. Thank God she survived the shooting so far. In Markham, Illinois, which is a south suburb of Chicago in Cook County, this is unbelievable. An 8-year-old boy was out in front of his house, I believe on his porch, playing with friends or whatever. And some gang members drove by intending on shooting his brother, shot this 8-year-old boy, and killed him. Because they were gangs, again, not groups, gangs. They were out to get the brother for whatever reason. In a city called West Elsdon, a southeast suburb of Chicago, an 18-year-old girl who was a champion wrestler in high school and who had planned on attending the Chicago Institute of the Arts. Supposedly she was a gifted artist. She was sitting in her car in front of her house after getting home from shopping with her mother. She was shot and killed while she sat in her car. I don't believe anybody was apprehended, and I don't believe there was any discussion of whether she was an intended target or was it just another bunch of nitwits driving by shooting at somebody. So, with all those shootings in Chicago, the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, wants to start suing gang members. She wants to sue gang members in civil court to seize their assets. This is the genius of this politician. They're gang members. You're going to sue them in a civil court? And what the fuck are you going to get? You're going to get their guns? You're going to get their chains? You're going to get their Jordans? You're going to get their drugs? What are you going to get? And what makes you think that you can actually bring these people, into a civil court? You can't get them off the street because you won't let your police do their job, but you want to sue them. It's disgusting. It's unbelievable that you're actually still in office. By making a statement like that, you want to sue gang members, is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard a politician say. That's fucking unbelievable. So with all that said, I'm going to talk about Obama for a few minutes. Him and Michelle are building this fancy big library in South Chicago. His legacy. God knows how many millions of dollars they're going to spend to build this. Yeah, he said he wants to hire locals and teach them, and so hopefully they can learn a trade or a craft so in the future they can support their families, and that's all well and good. But how about this for a second? I read something today that says Barack Obama is maybe worth approximately $70 million. He admits that he's rich because he's one of those, he wants to tax the rich, and he's throwing his hat in the ring to get taxed higher. That's a story for another day. But they say he's worth about $70 million. And also, supposedly, Michelle, from what I read, has possibly inked a deal with Netflix for $100 million. Doing what? I have no idea. I really don't know what she does. She was the first lady, and I don't know what the first lady does, but $100 million to do what? To tell you what it was like living in the White House for 8 years? She's another one. We talked about this before. She cries poverty. She worries about her kids, how she's oppressed, and blah, 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 that bullshit. So here's my point, basically. I get that you're going to build your presidential library. They all do. Big fucking deal. Woohoo. How about you're so wealthy, and you're from Chicago, although you don't live there anymore because it's a war zone, so you don't live there. But you're so wealthy, why not take some of your wealth and do something for the inner city? Maybe try to boost the police department. Maybe use your influence to better educate the kids. Maybe spend some of your money on the schools. Maybe something. With all that money, instead of building this lavish library that, quite frankly, the inner city kids, they're not going there. They might go on a school tour. Oh, look at this. Don't touch anything, but look at this. You too can have this someday if you become the president of the United States. It's so sickening that these politicians do this shit. And they publicize it. They're all proud. They're proud. This is my legacy. No one gives a shit, quite frankly. I know I don't. But if you're so wealthy, you can't take some of that money and do some good for the inner city in Chicago, where people are getting shot and killed every single day, including first responders. An 8-year-old boy out playing was killed by a bunch of fucking nitwits trying to kill his brother. A gifted 18-year-old girl was killed sitting in her car. For what? So obviously they're gone, right? They'll never get to go to the fancy Obama library. But you're going to continue to build it because that's what politicians do. They're going to keep themselves relevant. They are going to make their fancy libraries and visitor center and all this bullshit that no one really gives a fuck about. It's probably going to cost an arm and a leg to go in there. That's not going to help Chicago. It's not going to stop the violence. It's not going to change the policies of the morons that are in charge over there because they don't care. Obama doesn't care. Michelle Obama doesn't care. All they care about is they're filthy rich now. They're going to take care of themselves and their family, of course. And they're going to take care of whoever else they brought into their circle the 8 years they were in the White House. No one's going to benefit from it. Nobody is going to benefit from a fucking library in Chicago. People are still going to suffer. People are still going to be shot and killed. The police are going to still be victims. They're still going to be criticized that they're racist. and it's never going to end. So bottom line here, with everything I said, 58 shootings in a weekend, a police officer shot, a paramedic shot, an 8-year-old killed, an 18-year-old killed, and you're building a library worth God knows how much money because you've got to cement your legacy in Chicago where you came from, and you don't even live in the fucking city no more. And you got all the security that anybody can ask for. And you don't live there. He doesn't live there. He's never going to live there again. But his library's going to be there. He was at the groundbreaking. He'll go for the grand opening. And then you might see him here and there. My opinion. No one gives a shit about your presidential library. Take some of your wealth and some of your celebrity, if you will, and do something good for Chicago. Because a library is not going to do it. It's not going to help the people that are just average working people living in the city and the surrounding suburbs. It's not going to help them survive the violence. Your fancy library. Do something good. You were supposed to be this wonderful president. Everybody loved you. We all know how that turned out. Because now we got your buddy in there. I'm not even going to get into him. But you did nothing. You did nothing. But now you're going to keep yourself relevant by building this big friggin' shindig library. For who? For you? Maybe Oprah? Maybe LeBron? All your people. They're all going to come and celebrate with you. Then they're going to you're all going to go away with all your money and fuck everybody else in the inner city. Let them still kill each other. Let them steal. Let them rob. We don't give a fuck. It's wrong. And that's it. That's it. That's my rant. Because it's disgusting what's going on. It's an every single day thing. A kid can't even go outside their house and play. Because some fucking gangbanger wants to come by and start shooting, not giving a fuck who's standing out there. It happens where I live. Thank God not as much like that, but it happens. But in a city like that, with the leadership they have, it's disgusting. But don't worry. Don't worry. Fucking Beetlejuice is going to start suing the gang members, and she's going to recoup all this money, and she's going to bring it back and put it into the inner city. That is the most asinine fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. You're going to sue the gang members. And if you're successful, like I said, maybe you'll have a lot of gold chains, a lot of Jordans, a couple of pounds of crack. You might have some weed. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get that. Maybe a bunch of cell phones, some guns, a few cars. What are you getting? You're suing gang members. Wake the fuck up. Seriously, wake up. I think Obama needs to call Beetlejuice, and they need to get together, and he needs to do something to help that city with all the money he's making. And if Michelle's doing a Netflix series, maybe they should film it in the inner city so people really see the shithole that it is and what good, hard-working people have to live in because the rich politicians don't care. End of story. End of rant. Thank you for watching. If you haven't liked this video, please hit the like button. Share this video if you will. Subscribe to my channel, No Limits Podcast. I appreciate your support and I appreciate you watching. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when another rant comes your way. It'll be coming really soon. I hope everybody's healthy and safe. Thanks for listening again. Have a great night.